guys, my name is Mallory and I'm from Marshall Made Home. I am here tonight with Home Talk. I'm going to teach you guys how to be doing a faux shiplap round. You can use it as a door hanger, a wall hanger, pretty much anything, and I'll show you how to style them a couple different ways as well. We're gonna get started. We're just gonna jump right in. So if you're tuning in, I'll be live to be able to answer any questions between 7 and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we're just gonna start with this round door hanger. It's about 18 inches. You can get these anywhere, Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon, pretty much anywhere. And it doesn't have to be just a round circle. It can be a square, rectangle. You can even get like the Christmas tree shapes too at Michael's, the ones that are bigger, and you can use them to hang like as a door hanger. They would be really cute too. So I'm just gonna teach you my trick. It's the baby wipe method. Very quick and it dries quickly. So you're gonna take, there's gonna be 2 layers of paint, brown and then white. I use just regular brown chalk paint. I dip my wipe right in there. And then I just literally apply it with a baby wipe, just so you can see the grains. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna go right over it. We're gonna paint right over it. So now if you guys have any questions, just remember I'll be live in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you guys have questions so far, I'll be able to answer those. But as you can see, this does not look perfect. And we don't wanna put too much paint on there because this is gonna dry quickly. Okay, and it doesn't have to be the whole board. I typically will get the edges like this because when I paint over it white, I like it to look really distressed on the edges. Okay, and if you guys could do me a favor, if you're watching, why don't you go ahead and just comment like where you're watching from. I like to make sure I'm not like the only one on here, and you know, I just maybe want to see where everybody else is from. I'm actually in upstate New York. I have a little online shop where I make stuff like this, so I just like to teach it. I actually do some classes on the weekends, like for events and whatnot. So if you're watching too, you know, like, comment, give it a share, maybe tag a friend that would want to watch this. You guys can do this together at night, girls' night or something. So, second step, you can use any paintbrush. I'm just going to use the ones that I have. They're chip brushes. This I think is a 3-inch, but these are the 2-inch. The 3-inch works really well because it really gets like the paint, like it just gets it all over really quickly. And you're gonna want this to be distressed. You don't wanna put the whole thing on there. Just nice strokes, just like this. You wanna leave some areas that you can still see that brown peeking through. And then just go back and forth. And it's okay if the brown, like I said, the brown baby wipe method, it dries very fast. So you can just start, you know, putting this white layer right over it, as long as you just don't do it too thick with that brown. I like my edges really chippy and distressed, so I'm not gonna put too much on. And for this one, for you guys tonight, I'm gonna do the 3D wood cutout that says Merry Christmas. You can use any stencil, any word. It doesn't even have to be a Christmas door hanger. You can do any season. You can even do like a welcome one that you can use all year round. And I'll show you too where you can get some of this stuff. Everything will be linked. You see how I'm just kind of grazing over the edges, and I'll show you what they're gonna look like. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Because remember, we're gonna make this look like shiplap too. It's gonna be nice and chippy and distressed. Just a little here, there we go. Okay, I already have my paints already poured out, but like I said, I just use the chalk paint. You can get it anywhere. I order mine on Amazon. You can get this at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, really any craft store. So we're just gonna leave this top layer. You see how it's white? The edges are really chippy and distressed. I'm just gonna set this aside, and while we're waiting for that to dry, we can go ahead and paint the 3D cutout. Mine says Merry Christmas. Like I said, you can do anything. It could be the word home, welcome, you can even do a stencil. I have a vinyl cutter, so when I make these without these words, I cut stencils with vinyl that say quotes, anything really you can think of. You could probably wear a glove too, but I didn't. So for my word, I'm going to use green. And I like to mix paints too. I just like to get weird colors. I don't know. But I mixed a few greens. I used the chalk paint green. And then I added like a little bit of a darker green in there too, just because I wasn't really sure if that was going to be too light. And I just use a makeup sponge to paint this on. You can use, like I said, you can use any paintbrush. I just feel like these work better and they work best for me. And you can see how nice that goes on. Just one coat too, because I'm going to distress the edges on this too. And I'll show you. And you just kind of just graze right over these words. How we looking so far, guys? Feel free to comment, ask questions. If you guys have any questions on where to get things, or maybe a certain style you're looking for. Okay. And if you're just jumping on and you didn't catch the intro, I'm Mallory. I'm from Marshall Made Home. I make signs like this. I'm here with Home Talk tonight. I'll be able to answer any questions live in the comments. Comment where you're watching from tonight. Tag any friends that maybe you guys can do this project together. And then, you know, let me know how I'm doing. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, almost ready. And we're gonna put a bow on this too. I'm gonna show you guys how to make a really quick bow that's gonna look really cool. If you're not a bow maker, don't worry, I'm not either, but you can do it, I promise. You don't have to do anything fancy. You're literally cutting strips and folding them and tying them together. It's so easy, I promise. Okay. Okay guys, look how quick this is so far. So quick, so inexpensive. You guys can probably do this project in less than $20. And some of the materials that I'm going to show you guys how to put on there, they actually come, you know, like this eucalyptus for instance. It comes in like a large garland you can get for like $10. You can do probably 3 or 4 door hangers with this. So you and your friends get together and have a girls' night and make these. It's really fun and it's easy. Okay. So I'm going to just show you while they're drying. I'm going to show you real quick how to just do this bow. It's so quick, so easy. I like to mix my my ribbon colors and whatnot just to maybe look a little different. I don't know, I like the different looks. Okay, so ribbon you can get anywhere, any color, doesn't have to be this color. You can get it at Michael's has like 40% off, Amazon. These, Amazon and then Hobby Lobby. This from Hobby Lobby, I think I got it for like $2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just a strip. I don't even know how long this is, you guys. I don't even measure because it just doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, this is, let's see. This piece is, it's a little more than 12. It's 18, but it doesn't have to be that. You can do like 6. I just fold it where there's still a little bit of a tail left, if you can see. Just fold it right down like that. I'm gonna make a few of these. Set it in my pile there, and I'm gonna, you know, change it up. I'm gonna do some different patterns too with it. It's not all gonna be the same. I chose this green. I really like this. I thought it was kind of vintage. Still gives that farmhouse look. As you can see, the one in the background, I'll show you that when we're all done with this. You can do like the red, you can do any color, and it doesn't have to be Christmas either. Okay. There's 2, I'm gonna do a few more too. It's gonna look cool, guys. It's so easy too. You can do it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment on there, okay? Because I'll be able to answer any questions. I'll be live with you right in the comments. Okay. So quick, guys, and it's so easy. I promise you're gonna love it. Okay. And then I kind of like this green. For some reason, this color just stood out to me. It's kind of got like a little shimmer to it. I just thought it was different. So I'm just gonna add a couple pieces of this in there too, just to give it a little pop of something bright. And if you guys don't like door hangers, you can put this anywhere in your house. I have a few of these around my house. I put on the wall. Like this one behind me, that's in like one of those tobacco baskets. There's really so many ways you can style it. You can even use it as a tray. You can put some handles on it, use it as a tray. Just maybe for decor, like for a centerpiece, that would be really pretty. So let's see, we got 3 of those. I'm gonna do maybe one more of the buffalo check. Where are all my buffalo check people? I know all you guys like this black and white stuff. Give me the thumbs up for this too, will ya? Okay, so like I said, you're folding it to where there's just a little tail. They don't have to be all the same length. They don't all have to be the same size. You can't mess this up, guys. It's so easy. We're just gonna put them together on top of each other. I'm gonna just alternate like this. I'm gonna do the green, then the buffalo check. I'll do another green one on top of that. You're just laying them right on top of each other. We can add this little shimmery one in there. Okay, and we'll just alternate. Add this buffalo check one there. Add the green, just so they're gonna look like this. You're just gonna lay them right flat on each other, just like this. And then I'm gonna show you, it's so easy. So once they're laid down right on top of each other flat like this, you're gonna see the little tails. We're gonna trim them, or we'll make them look fancy. Show you a little trick for that too. So what I do is I'm gonna just twist. I'm gonna start maybe a little more than halfway up, like here. Zip tie, this is the hack, okay? Use a zip tie, so easy. You just literally wrap it around there. However big you want like your loops to be, you can move it up further, you can move it down if you want bigger ones, but I'm just gonna do mine just a little more than halfway up. Tighten it like that. I'll cut it off, cut the zip tie off, guys, okay? And then this is the best part. Now you can really do anything with these. I'm just gonna mix mine all around, pull them out, fluff them up. You can move them around, it's very flexible. I'm just splitting mine, so there's a couple green on one side, a buffalo check on one side, if you can see. And then I've got like those cool green sparkly ones in the middle. I really like those. I just thought that color was cool. It's really Christmassy. If you guys aren't a fan of these green colors too, like I said, just you can do any color. I got the red one behind me. You can do any color. And look at how easy that was. You literally just fold pieces of ribbon, leave a little tail, and then you just stack them on top of each other and pull a zip tie, and you can just fluff them out to look like this really cool poof bow. I call them poof bows. And then if you see, we have the tails here. You can cut them to whatever length you want. I'm gonna cut mine maybe just a hair on some of them. And then I'm gonna show you guys like a cool little way you can style the ends. You can cut them at an angle to make them, you know, look really cool. You don't have to, you can though. And you can cut them, there's a few different ways. I just like to cut mine at an angle. So I'll use the green one just because it's a nice one to do it on and you can see it really good. I'm gonna just fold that green, this is the green tail. If you can see, let's see, right here is the green tail. You're just gonna literally fold it in half. Either way, it doesn't matter because this is double-sided ribbon. You're gonna fold it in half so it looks just like this. Okay? And then you're just gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut it at the end at an angle, just like that. So then what it does, look, see how cool that looks? All right, so you can do it on all of them. And then when we put it on your shiplap round, we'll pull out the ones that, you know, are longer and move them towards like the front or the back. I'll show you guys how to do that too, super easy as well. like I said, this is a do-it-yourself project. These I sell as well, but this is such an easy one that you guys can do, and it's, you know, it's inexpensive. I see you guys can do this all for under 20 bucks. Okay, so I'm just going through and doing all the tails. I'm gonna cut the green ones just a hair. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you guys that shiplap hack. You don't have to plank wood together and cut it as a circle. I'm gonna show you a little trick so it looks like shiplap even though it's not. Okay, almost done with this. Just wanna see if I got them all. One more. And we're gonna add some really pretty greenery too to this, guys. It's gonna be real cool at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna move that to the side. I'm just gonna get this out just because as I was doing my bow, I just saw a little spot, you know, that I missed. I'm just gonna dab a little more green to it. No big deal. Dries pretty quick too, so won't be a problem. See? All right. How we doing, guys? Any questions so far? Just remember, I'll be live in the comments, so feel free to ask any questions, questions on where I got anything. If you guys, you know, want like a more in-depth tutorial on how to do that bow, comment in there, okay? And make some requests, and I can do that. Just gonna move that out of the way. So this, for the most part, is pretty dry. There might be like a few spots on there that are tacky, but I'm still gonna go ahead and show you that shiplap hack, okay? So you can use any ruler. You don't even need a ruler. You can just draw a line straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm just gonna use a little ruler just to kind of guide me. You can do as many as you want, as many lines as you want. If you want your shiplap to look really thin or really wide. I think I'm gonna do, let's see, I did 3 lines on the other one, and that gave it a really good look. Gave it like chunky look. So I'm gonna do 3 again. You can either stencil the line with a pencil first, or you can just go ahead and use your marker. And this is a paint marker. It's a Sharpie paint marker. You can get these on Amazon as well. They actually come in a pack on Amazon for really cheap. It's probably the cheapest that I found. So, and I'll put that in the link as well. Let's see here. I'll just go ahead and just draw the lines on there. We'll start at one side, and then you're literally, guys, you're just gonna take your marker and draw straight across, okay? Just like that. And if you want your lines to look a little thinner too, there's thinner tip markers. You can use like the thinner Sharpie ones. I just think the thicker one, it just gives it, it looks a little more real. Oh, I better just go to the edge. Okay, so there's our first line. I don't know if you guys can see real well, it's pretty bright. See? And then it's gonna look like shiplap when we're done. And you can measure if you're like, you know, one of those people that you want your, you know, your areas to be like so many inches apart. You can. I don't. I just kind of wing it and just guess. But you can. I didn't measure that one, but I can measure this one for you. This is 3.5 inches. So if you wanted to do 3.5 inches apart, you could. I'm just gonna, like I said, just wing it and just draw my lines. Just move it down just a little. So if you're just jumping on now, guys, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll be live right with ya, right on Home Talk, okay? And like I was saying, I make all these for my shop, but you can do them yourself. I'm like a huge DIY person. I love to do everything that I can on my own. Just feel like it's cooler too, you know, if you make it yourself. Like, I need that. I do classes, like, you know, paint events on the weekends, and all the ladies, and there's guys there, kids, they love to make stuff like this, because you can just hang it in your house, and You know, it's just a little cooler because you made it, you know. Okay, so moving on, we can, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and start distressing the edges a little. You can use either or. You can use like a thinner sander or you can use a bigger one. I'll use the thinner one just because it's not that much I'm gonna sand. Like if I had a really heavy coat of white on there, because sometimes I get carried away, you can take the bigger black and kind of distress some of that white off more. But I was really careful tonight when I did this and I didn't put a whole lot of white on. As you can see, there's a lot of areas that are left open and that look really chippy and distressed. And I really like that look. So you're just gonna go right around the edges. Just kind of expose some of that natural wood on there. Doesn't matter what way you go, any way is fine. Just drag that sander or a little piece of sandpaper, even if you have, just drag it right around the circle. And then I'm just giving the marker just a second to dry on there because I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna distress that a little as well. So then you just take your little sander. I like to distress the edges going into that shiplap piece. I just think it looks a little more real. So you're just gonna take it and you're gonna just kind of graze over it. Give that little, it's kind of gonna turn it gray a little bit, but I feel like it just looks a little bit more real right there in the corner. And then you can just take your little sander and just kind of graze over that black line, just lightly, not too heavy. You don't wanna make that line go away. That's gonna give us that faux shiplap look. If you're not into the shiplap look, you don't have to do the lines. You can just leave it, you know, distressed, or just you can paint even stripes on here. That would be cool. Like, you know, red and green for Christmas. Just gonna go just how I was over there. Just lightly bring that sander in on the edges and just graze right over that line that you draw. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to show you guys how to add the greenery. I add them in pieces. I think it's so much easier. Some people put them together and add them all as one after they've intertwined them all. I add them on in pieces and it's going to be so easy. I'll show you. Okay, so that's done. See, we have that looking good. Okay, now it's time for the greenery. It doesn't matter what end you put it on, whichever you prefer. And you can get any Christmas picks, any greenery picks anywhere. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, Walmart. And then this one I got, it came as one whole branch. I'm just gonna cut a few off, guys. We're gonna pop those on there. These will be our starter pieces, okay? And I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna intertwine some other textures and different color greens. Like this is a little bit brighter, this has got a little bit of sparkle to it, this is more Christmassy. And then I'm gonna this eucalyptus I feel just looks so good on all of them. It just adds that, you know, big bulk of texture to the top and gives it some dimension. So then you can just take a staple gun. I'm gonna actually do it this one. This has got a little bit bigger of a gap. Start on each side. You're gonna want two sides, okay? Because then your bow's gonna go right in the middle. Okay, so pop one piece on real quick, real simple. Doesn't have to be in any order, just make sure you got enough room for that bow in the center, okay? And I'm doing maybe, I'll do 5 of these, 5 picks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll add maybe like a chunky one, kind of in the center. Move it down just a little bit. And you can use a staple gun. This is not a heavy duty staple gun. It's just something from like the craft store. It doesn't have to be crazy. And then we'll, like I said, you can get this eucalyptus in a big branch, or a big garland, I'm sorry. You can order it on Amazon. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. Just gonna put maybe 1 or 2 on each side, just like this. Okay, staple them down. Like I said, I staple mine all separately. Some people, you know, you can put them all together. I just think it's easier to do it this way. I don't want it too much. Yeah, that'll be good right here. Okay, so there's a second piece of, or a second set. And then I'm going to take these 2 picks here. They just are the ones that have the sparkle, and I'm going to add them on each side. And then I'm going to intertwine those little green, this lighter green. I'm just going to use a couple of these. Okay. We'll do 2, 1 on each side. Super easy. I'll put these on first though. Just pop them in anywhere, you guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can play around with them too once you get them stapled on. If you feel like one side has to be pulled and fluffed a little more, you can do that. And then these are those little green pieces. I'm just gonna plug them in under a staple on each side just to give it that little pop of bright green. I think it's really cool. This one will probably have to put another staple on. There we go. Okay, look at that, guys. Look how easy it is. And look at that so far. And then we're gonna take our bow. Actually, let's add our words on first. That way I know how far to move my bow. I'm just gonna turn this around so I can see. I kind of like mine to go at an angle, just like that. You guys can do it straight, right in the center. I just kind of like to do mine at an angle. And then I'm gonna take a nail gun to do this, just because it's easier for me right now, so I can hold it up and show you guys the final product. But if you're home and you don't have a nail gun, you can use wood glue, hot glue, either of those work, okay? So I'm just gonna pop a couple nails in it to show you. Okay, and then we'll take our bow. We're gonna place this right in the center. We're gonna pop a few staples in the bow just to get it to hold. And you can do that right underneath here so it's not interfering and nobody's gonna see the staples, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go underneath here, and these tails we'll be able to pull apart and fluff them out once we get our bow on, okay? There's one side, just gotta do my other side here. Okay. Like I said, that staple gun, it's nothing heavy duty, it's just from the craft store. Add one. We'll add just a couple staples in the back just to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, now we can pull our tails around. If you want like the buffalo check to be, you know, what's hanging out first. If you want the green, and they're just gonna hang out each way, it doesn't matter. Then you can go ahead and fluff the pieces of your bow up here and just, you know, give them a bit more fluffier shape. There's really no right or wrong way. Guys, and look how quick and easy. And like I said, you can hang it on a door, a wall. I have one in a tobacco basket, but this is the green version. You can use any color, any shapes, anything really. And then I forgot to cut a tail, so, and this one's showing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that tail. Okay. How cool. And what I use to hang it on my door or just anywhere on the wall, what I'll do is I'll flip it over and I just take a little bit of jute twine. You can get this anywhere too, guys, a craft store, Amazon. I love Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it'll come to your house within a day or two. And then I just give it a double layer, and then I just pop this on the back with a few staples. Just like so. And then if it's too long, you can just cut the ends off here, like, so they're not hanging. And you guys can paint the back if you want to. I didn't tonight, but if you have a glass door, you want the back painted, go right ahead, okay? Look how cool. What do you guys think? Feel free to leave some, you know, suggestions or what you guys' thoughts on that in the comments. I'll go ahead and show you the red one that I did, just to show you that you can do different colors. You can see how cool that one is. And I did like the distressed red. This one I mixed the black and red buffalo check with just maybe some pinstripes. Popped a few of like the different textured red greenery pieces up there. And like I said, a door, a wall. This one, for instance, was right here. I just kind of styled it in a tobacco basket. Love it that way. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, whatever you think. Let me know. Let me know how I did, okay? Have a good night.